Molique with Juante, and we are back with another video. It's been a while. It's been a while. I get it. Let's not even talk about it. It's been a while, okay? I think the last video that I may have given you all was like a haul or a try on haul, something of that sort. From that time, which was probably like March, April. If I'm wrong, I'll correct it in the video. But from that point till May, the energy, the vibes, everything just was not, things were not sitting well inside with me. And not to say that I was depressed or anything of that nature. It was just like I felt like I was not serving my highest like passion and purpose. And with that, I had spoken to someone who had recently moved from Ohio to Pittsburgh, and throughout our conversation, she was just like, it was the best decision that I made. I had to depend on myself. And I had to figure things out for myself and find myself and love on myself and do all the things for herself. And with that being said, if you know me, you know that I have been going back and forth about moving to Texas. If you know, you know. Like, Texas has always been the, oh, sis, we're going. Oh, we're getting there. Oh, it's happening, you know? And every year I would literally say, we'll do it next year. We'll do it next year. But I will always sign a new lease with my apartment, and I would never prepare or get things in order so that I can make that move. And if you don't know, I'm originally, well, I was raised in Ohio. So Ohio to Texas is a long distance. It's almost 2,000 miles away. And throughout that conversation with said person, she was like, what's holding you back? What's stopping you from doing it? And I was just like, I don't know. I didn't have an answer. Like, I just did not have an answer. And it was May. Maybe it was April. No, it was May. And while we're having this conversation, I had recently spoken with my leasing manager, and I thought that my lease was up in June, but it wasn't. Could have been God, could have been whatever. But I signed a 15-month lease, or my apartment complex signed us for a 15-month lease versus a 12-month lease. So I had until August to get out of this apartment or stay or sign a new lease, whatever the case may be. And she was like, so you have time? And I was like, have time for what? Sis, what are you talking about? What do you mean? She was like, you have time to make this adjustment or make this move. And excuse me, we finished our conversation, you know, and I kept going about my day. Like, okay, girl, yeah, I hear you. Time, whatever. But it crept back in my mind, and I was like, bro, she right. Like, what's holding me back? What's stopping me? I don't have any children. I'm not in a relationship. I'm not bound to any specific job. I can move. I can make this adjustment. Y'all, that was it. I literally in that moment said, you're going. You're leaving. It's time to prepare. It's time to make that decision. It's time to grow and prosper and put yourself in unknown territory, literally, and figure things out. And with that being said, from May until August, when I moved, it was grind time.
Let's get to that money. 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 Let's get to.
In that time frame, I think it was very difficult to let other people in on what was going on inside of me internally, because this is my journey and no one else's. So I did limit who I told, where I was going, what I was doing, how I was doing it, all of that, because sometimes people's fears will project onto you. And there were a few key people that I told, including my sorority sister Amber. And when I tell you, we be on the same wavelength no matter what. We be on the same wavelength no matter what. And I told her, and she was like, okay, so what we doing? How we doing it? How we getting there? What's the plan? You know, and some people were more or less like, no, don't leave. I'm going to miss you. It's not a don't leave because you can't make it. You can't figure it out. You're not going to be great. It was a don't leave because selfishly, unconsciously, they wanted me to be still in their space, in their orbit, in direct space and reach and grab. And I love that because that just means that they cherish our relationship. However, I have to do what God has called for me and what my purpose is. And my purpose was to leave Ohio and figure life out. I will say I've had a conversation or two with some people that I shared my excitement with, and they were not happy. They were very doubtful. They were very fearful, excuse me. And it kind of shunned me from wanting to speak to them again regarding the situation because they projected their fears upon me. But I had to stand strong in what I knew. I will say, I think it was maybe a month prior to my move. Bro, I woke up with so much anxiety one day. Like, it was like a lump was in my throat. Like, I could not deal. I could not deal. I just could not deal. Luckily, I didn't have anything to do that day, but like, I could not deal. I woke up and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym. Maybe that'll distract me. Went to the gym and I could not focus on my workout. Like, no matter what it was, I could not focus on my workout. I went back to my apartment. I said, okay, it's a month out. We should probably start really packing. I tried to start packing. Couldn't focus on packing. I was like, all right, well, let's just go to sleep because clearly, sis, you can't function. So I took a nap. I woke up and I was like, okay, let's try and get back to things. Still couldn't do anything. So I went and lay by the pool. Laying by the pool, like I said, my sorority sister Amber texted me and she was like, hey, you leave in a month. Would you like me to help you pack? Sure. So she came over, she helped me pack. And we were just talking and she was like, this anxiety that you're feeling is not that you shouldn't make the move. It's that, oh my God, you're really doing it. It's really happening. Like, apartment was secured. Penske truck was reserved. The said people who said they were going to help me move said was all confirmed. The people who was going to help me unpack in Texas had confirmed. Like, all things were aligning. No issues. It was golden. But I still had that lump and I just I couldn't shake it. We talked, I cried a little bit. And I felt a little bit better after that conversation. She left and I was like, okay, let's try and get back to packing. So that anxiety came back. And my line sister actually texted me and was like, Taco Tuesday, you ready? I said, I mean, hey, let's do it. Because clearly I can't focus on anything anyway. So I met up with her and we just talked. We had to wait. So we walked around the area. We talked. I cried again. And she was just like, Mo, but this is what you've always wanted to do. Like, ever since I've known my line sister, so 10 plus years, she was like, you've always talked about leaving and going to Texas and doing you. This is your moment. Everything is aligning. So you should not stress or worry, even if others' anxiety or fears project upon you. After that conversation, after that dinner, I was good. I was golden. Whatever anybody else said, I didn't care. When somebody was like, but what about this? I did not care. It didn't matter. I had somebody like, but what about, pause for the cause. I was talking to a young man, but he was not mentally in the space to grow a relationship. And that's okay. Like, he has to be on his own journey and figure things out for himself. In that time, she was like, but what about if he professes his love? Well, he should have said it quicker. No, I'm just joking. If he does, that just means that we have to create more effort to see each other and talk to each other and things of that nature. But this journey is for me. I have to make this move for myself. She was like, but I was like, I'm sorry. And I didn't mean to like just cut her off from what the situation was, but I did have to stop and pause and say, I cannot entertain somebody's what ifs or maybes or possibilities for them to profess their care and love for me once I've made a decision for my life. Cool. And there's no hard feelings. We've had tough conversations, but I think in that moment, this was a leap for myself. Like, I had to take this jump for myself. So I say all that to say, I am now a resident, okay, in Houston, Texas, baby. And it's been a month. It has been a month since I have moved. Time has flown. My mom has come to visit. She was here for a week. She literally just left yesterday. And I think it's hard for her because her two kids have now moved. One is in Florida, one is in Texas. And it's like, oh my goodness, my kids are spreading their wings and figuring out their life. And sometimes as a parent, I think it's hard for them to adjust to that atmosphere. But I think all the steps that I've taken in my life have prepared me for this moment. Like I said, I am from Ohio. I grew up in Dayton, but from graduating college, I moved directly to Columbus, which is like an hour and a half away from Dayton, which created that separation or prepared me mentally for not having to solely depend on my parents or my family for my livelihood and me moving forward and progressing in life. So I am excited about this journey. I am excited about what's to come. I am just excited. Like, am I where exactly I want to be 100%? No. But I wasn't there in Columbus either, clearly, because I was always thinking, well, Texas. So here we are. We are 30 days into a new state that is almost 2,000 miles away from home. But I know that there's so much good that's about to come. I am trying my hardest not to cry on this video because that really bothers me when people be crying on the camera. Because it's like, sis, did you put that up to cry? No, we're not doing that. But it's been a transition. The heat is something different, but I enjoy heat, so that's been cool. These bugs, sis, for anybody that think they got bugs, Texas got bugs, okay? They're large and in charge, and I don't like bugs, but you know, whatever. Yeah. If you see me looking down, it's because I wrote some things down so I don't forget to talk about it. A job, okay? A job, sis. As some of you may know, may not know, whatever the case may be, I do have my master's. I got that in 2015. Yep, 2015. And I have been looking to make a career shift. Where I was in corporate America was not serving me. I dreaded going to work, and it was not the thing for me. It really just Not it. 10 out of 10, don't recommend where I was. And in that, I had started to make that transition while I was in Columbus. So, do I have a full-time job right now? No. Am I figuring things out? Yes. And we're working it out. God has genuinely protected me throughout this process, and I'm forever grateful. Like, things have truly been showing up and showing out, and I'm so grateful. So I do believe that I will have a full-time job. It's coming. My offer is coming, and when it happens, y'all, we're gonna talk about it. But right now, we don't have it, but it's coming, so I'm not worried. I think that's another thing that kind of like scared some other people. Is like, sis, you really leaving without my business? I am doing contract work right now, so that is still working for your girl, you know, which is the blessings that I've been talking about. But I'm in a season of taking that leap of faith and figuring things out and believing that God is going to forever cover and protect me. And if someone else cannot be on that same wavelength that I am on, then you gotta go. I don't want it. All negativity out. Like, bye. I was listening to a sermon today from Pastor Keon Henderson from the Lighthouse Church, and literally everything that I was currently going through or thinking about or worrying about, he spoke on today, and everything was put into perspective. And when those moments happen, that just reassures that I am on the right path. Reassures that, yeah, things may get hard. Yeah, some things may be unknown, but the unknown sometimes brings the best rewards. So I said all that to say your girl is walking in faith, putting in the work, believing in herself, with or without the support behind me. But I hope you all have a great day. That's all I got for y'all right now. That is my life update. Yeah, I think the next video is going to be information on how to relocate, what to think about, what to worry about, having this in order and that in order, all of the jazz. But that will come in the next video, as well as my process, what apartments I looked at. All of that will be in the next video. But thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell notification, sis. So you can be notified every time I post a new video. But that's all I have. See you in the next one.